Life in Spain isn't exactly what I expected. Some things are better, some things are not. In this video, I'll share my honest first impressions, what I like, what's challenging, and what surprised me. The first thing that stood out to me here is just how relaxed everyone is. It's not that they're lazy, it's just that everyone moves here at a different pace. There's a different rhythm. In Norway, or most Northern European countries, everything is structured, it's fast, there's a pace to everything. Here, it's like people live in the moment. Lunches are stretched longer, people take their time in the supermarket, have a chat with the cashier about their day. The only time they're moving fast is the cars. Cars move really fast here. I don't know why, but yeah, the driving is fast. At first it was hard because I would find myself getting impatient quite a lot. You know, as that example, when I'm at the supermarket and two people are talking and I'm waiting for my turn. But I get it now. That slower pace is why a lot of people move here in the first place. It's calmer, it's healthier, and in general, you just feel less stressed. Now, everyone talks about the weather in Spain. It's beautiful. Most days there's a blue sky, it's sunny. But what they don't tell you is in the middle of summer, 35 plus, creeping 36, creeping 37, creeping 38, and that's extremely hot. So you need to plan your days around these temperatures. You have to plan your clothes accordingly. You do your errands in the morning, and then that's why people eat later here, because you go out, you know, after 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, when the temperatures cool down. Now we're in October and it's still 20 to 25 degrees during the day, which is really nice. One thing that people don't tell you is in the evenings now it's getting colder, and in the mornings it's getting colder, and in the houses they're not so well isolated. So I find myself in the night getting a jacket out. When you think of Spain, you think of heat, warm all the time, but it's not. I can feel it getting colder. And it does rain here. I mean, as we can see today, it's raining. But days like this where it's raining, it's a good reminder that even in Spain, the weather is not perfect every day. But this is what makes it feel real, and not like we're living on a postcard or something. Now, before moving to Spain, I heard everyone say that Spain is cheap. And in some ways, it is. But in other ways, it's not. I mean, eating out is much more affordable. You can go and have a good meal with a drink, groceries, you know, local produce, getting your hair cut, going to the gym. These things are cheaper, yes. But then one thing that surprised me was electricity. Whoa, sudden! When I got my first electricity bill, I was like, did I do something wrong? Like, did I accidentally leave on 4 air conditioning units all day for the last week? And then you've got obviously the rent prices down here. It's not necessarily cheap. I mean, a lot of expats are moving here, they're buying, so obviously prices are increasing. And then the other part that kind of surprised me is variety. Because there's so much variety, you end up spending more money. But in the big supermarkets, like, we spend like 360 euros there. That's a lot. The overall day-to-day cost of living here is cheaper, but it's not a cheap paradise. You end up spending more money in other areas because you have more options. Now, one thing that I underestimated a lot is the language. I did assume there would be a higher English level in Spain. And to be fair, in the tourist areas, most people do understand you. But once you step outside of the tourist areas, I mean, Spanish is kind of essential. It hits you in small moments, you know, at the pharmacy, at the grocery store, at the bank, when you're trying to explain something and you don't speak Spanish. You have this moment where, like, you're not sure what's going on. So Google Translator, or Chat GPT, has become my best friend in many situations. What's super cool though is how patient the Spanish people are. They try and help, they try and understand. You get out the translator, you show them the translation, you have a bit of a laugh, they're smiling, you're smiling, and it ends up being a fun interaction. So it can make basic things take a bit longer, but it's just about enjoying the experience. Beyond the language, one thing you notice is the people. It's one of the biggest positives. There's this warmth and openness that you feel almost straight away. People actually talk to you, even if they don't know you. And even if I don't know Spanish and they don't know English, they still try. At first, it caught me off guard. You know, I'd be in the supermarket and someone would smile and wave at you, or in the gym, you talk to the other members there. It's really nice. There's also a really strong sense of community here. You know, family time, friend time, being together. It's a big part of life. Now, The flip side to the people here is that anything that involves paperwork is a process. A good example is getting your Spanish ID number, new number. Oh, what's hard, dude? So you gotta collect all this paperwork, you gotta go to the police station. Each city is slightly different on what they require, and each day and week can also be slightly different on what they require. But once you accept that it's part of the culture and stop fighting it, you'll even hear this word mañana, which in Spanish means tomorrow. Then you'll adapt and you'll realize it's not all about rushing, it's about living. One of the biggest adjustments for me has been the routines here. Everything runs a little later. People eat later, people go to sleep later, shops close at interesting times. So for the start, this threw off my rhythm a little bit. But after a while, you start syncing with it. And what's funny is it feels healthier. So I've now adapted my routines around this and I like it a lot. So I wake up, go to the gym, come home, work during the day, and then after the working day finishes, that's where the life starts outside of your normal routines. Taking my daughter to her activities like jiu-jitsu, swimming, soccer, playing paddle, and this all happens after 5 p.m. and it's nice. So overall, life in Spain has been completely different from what I expected in a really good way. It's slower, warmer, and it's more about enjoying the moments instead of chasing the next thing. Sure, there's some challenges like the language and the bureaucracy, but those are such small trade-offs compared to the life that you can have here. If you're thinking about moving here, I would say go for it. 100% move to Spain. Just come with an open mind and be ready to adapt, because once you do it, it's hard to imagine living any other way. And remember, don't move to Spain, live it.